You're at the gate in 2026. Your bag made it through security, coffee in hand, you think you're safe. Until the agent rolls out a sizer, points at your carry-on and says, "Can you step over here for a second?" In 10 seconds, your perfect carry-on is open on the floor, you're shoving clothes into a plastic bag, and a whole boarding group is watching. That's not bad luck anymore. That's the new normal in 2026. Welcome back to Us Move Line. I'm Drew, Gabriel. And in this video, I've pulled the latest carry-on guidance for 2025-2026 from TSA, FAA, and IATA, plus real-world reports from major news outlets, and turned it into a simple packing checklist you can actually use so you don't lose time, money, or your gear at the checkpoint. Because this year, it's everything at once. Tighter checks on carry-on size and weight, stricter attention on lithium batteries and smart luggage, more scrutiny on liquids and gels as CT scanners roll out, and fresh crackdowns on certain cordless hair tools and everyday products people have tossed into bags for years. And yes, there's one everyday item on this list that looks totally harmless, right up until security treats it like a problem. So let's start with the first way 2026 can blow up your trip: carry-on size, weight, and how stricter gate checks are changing what your bag can get away with. Dari Nok 1. The carry-on that always worked suddenly doesn't. Here's the first trap. The bag you've trusted for years looks perfect in your hallway and fails the moment the airline drops it into a frame. You've flown with this suitcase a dozen times, so you roll up to the gate relaxed. This time, the agent pulls it aside, slides it into a newer, front-and-center sizer, and everyone can see it doesn't quite fit. In that moment, it doesn't matter that it's always been fine. The frame says no, and your bag just stopped being a carry-on. Here's what's really going on. In the U.S., TSA cares about what's inside your bag. Airlines care about how big it is and where it can go. They're the ones who set carry-on dimensions. Most big carriers hover around 22 x 14 x 9 inches. Roughly 45 linear inches, when you add height, width, and depth, with wheels and handles included. It's not a universal global law, and some airlines tweak it up or down, but it's the typical range your suitcase gets judged against. And everything that sticks out counts: the wheels, the handle, the hard corners, the stuffed front pocket, the expansion zipper you only opened halfway. The inch you pretend doesn't exist is exactly the inch the sizer cares about. At home, that bag seems totally reasonable. It fits in your closet, it rolls down the hallway, it's squeezed into bins on half-empty flights. But in 2026, what matters is whether it slides cleanly into their sizer on a packed plane. If it doesn't, the agent has three options: argue with the frame, slow down boarding, or print a tag and send your bag to the hold. And on a lot of routes, that last-minute it-didn't-fit moment can cost you anywhere from about $35 to close to $100, depending on the airline and where you're flying. Then you're pulling out your laptop, meds, and camera before the bag disappears down the jet bridge. New scanners don't measure the outside of your suitcase, but they do make it obvious when your bag is packed like a solid brick. A carry-on that looks big and feels dense is exactly the bag staff want out of the cabin when bins are tight. How to avoid this in 2026. Measure the entire outside of your bag. Wheels, handles, bulging pockets, everything. Compare it to your airline's numbers, not the old cabin size tag from when you bought it. If you're brushing the limit, don't pack it until the zipper is screaming. Pick a suitcase that gives you breathing room. Then do a quick home test. Pack the bag like a real trip. Then slide it through a narrow doorway or a simple cardboard frame cut to your airline's size. If you have to twist, shove, or body check it through at home, a gate agent can do the same thing at the airport. Get size under control and you've dodged the first landmine. But even if your bag fits, 2026 adds another filter you feel the second you lift it. 2. Carry-on weight limits are getting real. For years, carry-on weight limits were that fine print line most people ignored. In 2026, more airlines are treating those numbers like they actually matter. The rule you thought was fake is now real. Many carriers cap cabin bags somewhere around either 8 to 10 kilos, roughly each 17 to 22 pounds. On paper, that sounds reasonable. Then you remember the suitcase itself weighs several pounds before you pack anything. Add a laptop, sneakers, a toiletry kit, and a couple of just-in-case outfits, and suddenly you're closer than you think. The bigger surprise is where weigh-ins happen. At some airports, kiosks and bag drop counters have scales built into the base. While you're printing your boarding pass or dropping a checked suitcase, your carry-on quietly lands on the scale too. If it's over the limit, you get flagged before you even reach security. Other airlines wait until the gate. You're sitting with your coffee thinking you're in the clear when you hear your name. You walk up, the agent points to a scale, and your bag has to go on in front of everyone. If it's too heavy, your options are all annoying. Shuffle clothes on the spot, pay a fee you didn't budget for, or hand it over for a gate check. A simple rule of thumb helps. If you need 2 hands and a deep breath to lift your carry-on into the bin, it's probably too heavy for a stress-free 2026 trip. How to fix it? Buy a small luggage scale and weigh your bag at home, not in front of a gate full of people. If you're close to the limit, wear your heaviest shoes and jacket. Move dense items into your personal item, where weight rules are often looser. A practical 3 times test helps too. If you won't use it at least 3 times on this trip, it probably doesn't belong in your carry-on. And once you've kept weight under control, the next crackdown starts. The personal item that you've been treating like a second suitcase. 3. Personal items are getting checked like carry-ons. If you've ever boarded looking like a mobile coat rack, backpack, tote, duty-free bag, plus a jacket trying to hide everything, this part is for you. For years, personal item basically meant whatever else you can balance. In 2026, that mood is changing. Flights are full, bins fill fast, and airlines want the aisle clear and the door closed on time. On paper, the rules sound simple. Your personal item must fit under the seat in front of you. Not if I wedge it sideways, not if my feet share the space, but flat under the seat. A lot of airlines use something around per 18x, 14x, 8 inches. About 45x, 35 kicks 20 centimeters, as the rough box that bag has to live in. Under-seat space varies by aircraft, especially on regional jets, but the expectation is the same. If it can't disappear under the seat and stay there, you can be told to check it. Here's how it bites. You show up with a roller and a small backpack that could honestly pack for a weekend. Security doesn't care. But at the gate, the agent sees that backpack belongs in the overhead. Now you're being asked to check something while everyone behind you watches. How to stay clean in 2026. Pick one under-seat bag and design it on purpose. A soft, compact backpack that lies flat under the seat beats a hard-shell mini suitcase every time. Go soft-sided so it can squish instead of fighting the seat frame. If you love airport shopping, keep a lightweight foldable tote inside your personal item and only pull it out after you're past the gate. One habit that backfires is walking up with loose extras: purse, laptop sleeve, shopping bag, plus a jacket over everything. To an agent, that looks like clutter. Their fix is simple. Combine it or tag it. Mindset shift. Your personal item isn't just a purse. It's your safety net. Passports, meds, wallet, laptop, a small camera, one change of clothes, those live under the seat, because that's the one bag you keep if your carry-on gets pulled for a gate check. Now, let's talk liquids, because 2026 is confusing people in a new way. Dreyershire 4. Liquids. CT scanners help, but 311 is still the baseline. You think liquids are boring? wait until you realize how many solid things get treated like liquids. For once, there is some good news. At more airports, CT scanners mean you sometimes don't have to pull liquids or laptops out at all. Your bag goes on the belt, nothing comes out, you walk through, and it feels like rules loosened. But here's the catch. It's not consistent. Big hubs might let your liquids stay inside, and then your smaller return airport still runs strict old rules. In the US, 3-to-1-1 is still the baseline. Liquids, gels, creams, and aerosols in containers up to, 3.4 ounces, all inside one clear quart-size bag. That covers the obvious stuff like shampoo and lotion, but also things people forget: peanut butter, creamy spreads, sauces, some cosmetics, and that oversized face serum you bought and tossed in without thinking. So in 2026, don't pack for the easiest lane. Pack defensively, as if every airport on your trip is still strict. Keep your liquids together in one clear pouch near the top of your bag so you can pull it out in 2 seconds if needed. And you can make your life easier by swapping categories: solid deodorant, shampoo bars, conditioner bars, solid cleanser, solid perfume. Solids don't count toward your liquid limit, and they're basically immune to scanner differences. Think of CT as a bonus round. 3-1-1 is still the rule. Now, the next landmine: batteries. 5. Batteries, power banks, smart luggage, and cordless tools. If there's one word that can turn a normal carry-on into a safety issue, it's battery. Power banks, spare laptop batteries, camera batteries, e-cigs, smart luggage, cordless hair tools, they all live in the risk zone because lithium batteries can overheat. The core rule is simple. Spare lithium batteries and power banks belong in your carry-on, not in checked luggage. Flip the battery over and look for the watt-hour rating, the watt number. Most normal power banks are under 100 watt and are generally fine in a cabin bag. Once you get into larger bricks above that, you're in check the airline first territory, and very large batteries may not be allowed at all. Another quiet test that catches people: can your device turn on? If security asks you to power up your phone or laptop and it's dead, that looks suspicious. In 2026, power is proof. Charge your devices. Smart luggage has its own rule. Airlines care if the battery is removable. On many carriers, if a bag is going in the hold, the battery must come out and go with you in the cabin. If it's built into the frame and can't be removed, some airlines won't accept the bag. Cordless hair tools are also getting people. If it's cordless and it gets hot, treat it as cabin only, packed so it can't switch on by accident, and always follow your airline's tool rules. Medical gear matters too. CPAP machines may be treated as medical equipment, but spare batteries still need to follow lithium rules. Carry on only, contacts protected, ready to explain what they are. Your battery checklist. Check the WH rating, carry spares in cabin bags, charge devices, and make sure smart bag batteries can be removed quickly. Now we get to the final battle: overhead bins. 6. Overhead bins are the last gate check trigger. In 2026, overhead bin space feels less like a perk and more like something you either plan for or lose. Flights are packed, turnaround is faster, and airlines sell priority boarding hard. The result is simple. Bins fill early, and late boarding groups get whatever's left, which is often nothing. You can do everything right. Your suitcase fits, you waited at home, your personal item is under seat size, and still get gate checked because bins are full. How you protect yourself. Treat your boarding group as part of your packing strategy. If overhead space matters, don't wander when your zone is called. And treat your under-seat bag like your backup plan. Anything you can't lose, passport, meds, wallet, laptop, stays under the seat. If your main carry-on gets pulled, you're annoyed but not stranded. If you're traveling with someone, coordinate. 2 maxed-out rollers fight for the same bin space. One shared carry-on plus two strong under-seat bags often works better. The 2026 carry-on strategy in one line. When you zoom out, 2026 carry-on rules come down to 3 moves. Pack a bag that actually fits, keep risky items where the rules want them, and stop betting that they'll let it slide this time. Measure your suitcase with wheels, keep your personal item truly under seat, move every spare battery into your carry-on, and pack liquids like the strict lane is waiting for you. That's how you walk past the sizer, the scanner, and the overhead bin drama without handing over your stuff, your time, or surprise fees. If this helped you feel more ready for your next flight, hit like so YouTube shows it to other travelers who are still packing like it's 2019. Subscribe to US Moveline. If you want more no-drama flying guides, and tell me in the comments, what's the most ridiculous carry-on rule you've run into lately? And if you're wondering what to actually put in your bag now that you know the rules, watch my next video on safe packing for 2026 carry-on travelers. I'll walk you through a real bag, item by item, so you can copy the system instead of learning the hard way at the airport.